Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Virtual Racers Club. You're here for the Virtual Racers Club Friday event, the DR3 F1 Drive Memorial Clio race. Welcome aboard. So, we've got the Renault Clios out again, because these hardcore boys just cannot have a day off. If they don't have a race on a Friday night, then they cannot rest easy. And we're going to go down exploring in the bush, down under. We're going to get ourselves right down there and have a good look around to see what's in the bush down under. So it's going to be fun in Oz with the Clio Cups at Bathurst. That's what I'm trying to say. And this, you won't see your regulars here. No, this is the pinnacle of racing. This is the difficulty level, hardcore. I mean, that's why you won't see your Skyjackers or your Talleyrans in this. No sirree. Too scared. I mean, even Racer Brown wears his brown trousers when the Clios are mentioned. But the hardcore, they're here. And that's what's important. Alpha not out there in his Clio, throwing it around like he owns it. Superb. Koi Carp. We saw him last week, driving hard in his Clio, and he's back for more. Matty Psycho, he's popped in to say hello. Will he race, or won't he? I was going to say he's the fastest man, but Ensign Ewart, who pre-warned us in the chat that he's had a tough week, and this possibly could not be his groove brother, but he's fastest man out there, it seems. And we've got the Bandit, the Turtle Bandit, raging hard out there, down under in the bush. And Pat in the chat saying, I'll be there in a couple of minutes, just having delays at border control. Oh yeah? It's because you've got that nature peace-loving car. There's no carnage. There's no setting the world on fire with Pat's car. I've seen snippets of it. It's got a lovely cute koala on the front. Everyone's in the pits at the moment. It's very taut out there. I couldn't tell you the feeling that we've got. We've got Jim there. He's waving. Oh, it's McDonald's giving us a wave. Your coffee sucks, Ronald. So stick that big wavy hand where the sun doesn't shine. Matty doing his thing. Oh, sweet line. Oh, that wasn't. But before then, sweet line, bro. So Pat's on his way. I don't know if I should say in the chat. Just waiting for Pat. Says Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien in the Nescafe Clio that we saw him donning last week. Koi Carp also in his Castrol. Ensign Ewart, he went for the Silver Dream. There is someone down there in the corner. Is that like Kaz or something? Is that the dude that made GTR? I'm not sure. I can't see him close enough. Seeing a car out on track. It's Homesick Alien. So yeah, full tuning on these cars. I think they're 100% of what they are, but we've gone full tuning so that you can choose the racing gearbox. It's a better gearbox to race with. Gives you better handling. But you have to have tuning on to choose that gearbox. But the Renault Clios, there's not much you can really tune on them. So there's a default tuning that's been posted in Discord for guys to use. It's pretty sturdy. It was developed by IR Graham. So, and he's a fast boy. He's too scared of the Clios as well. You won't see him around here. And so that's been posted in Discord. So they've got a rough idea of a setup. They don't have to get lost with their suspension and their toe and all of that. Just little tweaks for personal reasons, really. And then they've just got to work out their gearboxes. They've just got to drive down the longest straight, which is that one just before the chase at the back, and try and go to when their gearbox tops out in top gear. Ensign Ewart in the chat, yeah, my week has been total balls. Going to be thrashing this Clio like Basil Fawlty tonight. Good stuff, I like it. It's my pit strategy. God benito. on the bumper. Oh, it's Benito. Pit strategy god. I'm going back. Where is he? He's out now. Let's have a look. What does he do? Add a sticker every race. So he's, hang on. Here we go. So yeah, it could be Benito, whatever his name is. The strategist of all strategists. If you're not an F1 fan, he's like in charge of Ferrari, and Ferrari seems to have the fastest car this year. They seem like it could be an easy championship that they should win, but then he does, and then their team makes all these mad decisions during the race on what to do, like putting on hard tyres when everyone, I think 3 cars had been out on hard tyres and gone straight back in because they wear pants. Nothing to do with this. Don't get confused. They're all using racing softs. I think they've got all tyres available, not the super softs because they're unrealistic, but they're all going to stick to the racing softs. The tyre deck and the fuel is at ×1, just real sort of sim. 2 30-minute sprint races, and Pat with a ripper, mate. I like that. Good on you. Good on you. Oh no. Got to get into it. I can't. I used to like to do Aussie accents when I watched Neighbours, but now, oh yeah, it's about all I can do. Oh yeah, you're great guy. You're great guy. So Matty looks like he's in. Quick up with his Y. The Ys are not welcome round here. This is a special club. This is the Friday club. We do not tolerate the Ys. You might get away with that in Skyjacker's shambles of a lobby, but this is like your Friday night lobby. And it's important not to make a mockery of these things. So here we go. We're going to have 10 minutes of qualifying. 10 minutes. I mean, man alive, what's the lap round here? 2.5 minutes under. Matty got fastest. I wonder if I get a message saying, don't call me Matty. Hell no. Sorry, Matthew. It won't happen again. So in the chat, oh, someone's posted a gear ratio. Oh, homescaling. And there's a little bit of chit chat, but I'm not going to sit there reading it. Quick up thingamajig, you love a good why. Alpha's left, unfortunately, and Bandit just got my red flag. Hey, Bandit, red flag? How? You're driving the wrong way around the track? He's there. So we're just awaiting now. Homesick Alien saying, good Luke. There is Guesties. Graffiti Clio. Winner from last week, I believe. Wasn't it him and Homesick? Absolutely thrashed it out. And I think they won 1 each, if I remember rightly. The stream's up, so you can always go back and have a look. You never know. I may be wrong. And here we go, qualifying. They're going to get at least 3 laps best. Well, they might cross the line and get a 4th. Who knows? But Homesick Alien getting himself back onto track. Like I said, racing softs. I think we're all going to be on a racing softs. And it looks to me like Matt Psycho found himself a tow buddy in a gym. Or they just decided to have a little race on the outlap just for fun and giggles. It looks like Matthew has backed right off now. Ensign Newer, oh no, sorry, they're still all jumbled up until they go across that first sector. And Homesick Alien is first man on a track. And there's Guesty. Shall we get on board with Guesty? Get a feel for the Australian track here at Bathurst. Mount Panama. Panama. There you go. Lovely feel of the Clio in those corners. No sliding, a little wheel squelch going into that corner, but still great control on the car in 4th. Trying to slow the car down to 2nd gear now. It's only the outlap, I don't, it doesn't matter if he hits a wall, but it's just nice seeing how he gets control of that Clio And then this is it. This is just around, I think it's called Forest Elbow or something. The longest straight, and then we'll see what that gear ratio is like in Guesty's car to fifth gear. Not even on sixth yet. Sixth. No. Ooh, yeah, just pulled sixth. Is it going to be full beans through the kink? Of course. Down into what, third gear for this, the chase. And the car's sliding away from him. That was a little too fast, Guesty. Just if you need a little advice, I'd slow down a bit in that corner. Doesn't like Clio gets washed out at the front. You go too fast. So then we've got Koi Carp. He's having a practice on his outlap of the limitations of Bathurst. Jim on track with the Ronald McDonald, giving everyone a wave. Horrendous coffee. Great Big Macs though. Can't slate him on his Big Mac. Full respect to the Ronald on the invention of the Big Mac and the Big Tasty. Both of those up there with my death row food. Could be a Big Mac. Could be last meal. Could be Big Mac. Large Big Mac. Well, then I'd have to have one of their coffees and that would ruin it. Thick shake, I suppose. Strawberry thick shake. So they're on their flying lap now. Sorry. What would your last meal be? It's got to be Mackie D's, isn't it? So Homesick Alien, being the host, gets the opportunity to get out of the pits first in qualifying. And at the moment, got a lovely empty track all to himself. No distractions. Those Clios, don't they look really small here at Dinky, here at Bathurst? So I remember speaking with Homesick Alien about this upcoming Friday, using the Clios again, and I jokingly said we should do it at Bathurst, and he had a glint in his eye, and I just thought, he knows I'm joking, right? And then the next thing we know, Bathurst is the track that's signed up for the Clios, and I'll be very intrigued with how they would go on here. And no one's yet to, we're already nearly halfway through qualifying and no one yet to post a time. So it is going to be very tight. They can't make mistakes. Bandit's already gone into the pits. He got bored driving around. He's just here to race. That's Psycho just ahead of him. Koi Carp might be enjoying a little tow from Ensign Ewart. And Homesick Alien has posted a time with a 2:26.2. Guesty a 2:27, 1.1 seconds down on the Alien. Jim next across the line. And what has he got in store for us? Oh, it's a 30. A 2:30.6. Pat 2:31.5. Ensign Ewart next up. It's a 2:33. And Koi Carp goes faster with a 2:32.8. And Matt Psycho, sorry. I've got stuck into doing it. Matt Psycho has popped himself there in between Guesty and Homesick Alien. And he might be enjoying a slight tow up this hill from Ensign Ewart there, I'm sure. 4/10 faster this lap. Homesick Alien, the pole sitter so far, fighting with Guesty and Matt Psycho at the moment. Jim next, fourth, fastest. Pat, we didn't have a good look at Pat's car. There you go. I told you I had a cute koala on the front. It's something to do with Bathurst. It's their Australian Koala Foundation, you see. I don't want to tell him what we've got coming up in the seal oil laboratories, but I did see something labelled as roux juice. And I can only, if we blend baby seals for seal oil. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jim's made a mistake and he's ended up right in front of Pat, and I don't think there was anything Jim could have done really about that. 3 minutes left. So yeah, the Roo Juice, somewhat coming along quite nicely. Homesick Alien, he's coming close to the end of his lap. Can he go faster? Can he keep the Guesty behind? I want to talk about Guesty because Matt Psycho's a little further down the track. It doesn't look like Homesick Alien. Does he go faster as he crosses the line? No, he does not manage to find any more pace in that car. Can Guesty eke out a second? Ooh, 4/10 puts him ahead of Matt Psycho. Pat, I believe, could be the next to cross the line. Pat in serious mode here. 8/10 behind Jim. A second ahead of Koi Carp. And Pat crossing the line. It looks good. It looks good. Ooh, he goes faster. 7/10 faster. Not enough to topple Jim over. We saw Jim making a mistake on that lap. Ensign Ewart slips it up into 4th place. He's a contender. 29.0. 2 seconds off of Matt Psycho's time, and at the same time Koi Carp goes faster but stays behind Pat. 2/10, only 2.5 tenths in it between Koi Carp and the Pat. And Jim, this is going to be their final lap. I don't know, Homesick Alien, be touch and go. He might get a final lap himself. Sure about Guesty. It's touch and go with those two if they get another lap in after this one. For everyone else, this is their final run. No mistakes. They've got to do it. Jim. Oh, pass bailed out of a corner there. Hopefully not going anyone's way. Well, it's nothing you can do here at Bathurst. There's a wall either side of you. There's no escape. And Jim saw make a small mistake that last run. He'll be looking for a good run here. Homesick Alien is asking if Alpha Nut is racing. I guess that'll be asking if we are quitting out at the end of qualifying. So Homesick Alien must have given up on his lap, surely, if he's texting people. And Guesty does look like a lot closer, so I don't believe Homesick Alien. Oh, Group's joined as well. Oh my god. Oh, and Alpha's not racing, but is Groot now? Homesick Alien wonders. And we think Homesick Alien, because he's done some typing. Oh, Guesty's put it in a barrier. Matt Psycho looks like he's ruined his last lap as well. Sorry. Can Ensign or Jim cause an upset here right at the dead of qualifying? Pat's going to cross before them, is he not? No. Koi Carp? No. Who's up there then? Matt? No. Oh, it's Guesty. Yeah, because Guesty's had an off. So Homesick Alien nor Guesty set a faster time. Oh, Homesick Alien does get another run though, whereas Guesty has to settle for second. Matt Psycho we saw off the road, he's 17 seconds down. It's down to Ensign Ewart and Jim. Jim crosses the line. He does go faster but stays the same, and same as Ensign Ewart. Oh, but Koi Carp slipped in between them both for 5th place at the dead. Great stuff. And we saw Pat is having some fun out there now, running down that 2-minute summit. And Homesick Alien is just racing against his own time, really. No one else to beat but himself. And can he do it? Pat in the chat. Pat in the chat. It's the feature. Said, got loose on turn 4, half spun, hit wall, not worth continuing that lap. No. So it does count as practice. Ooh, Homesick Alien. I didn't see his sector time, but I saw him hit the wall. And that's going to be your grid then, ladies and gentlemen. Homesick Alien sitting on pole with Guesty, 7.5 tenths adrift over a lap. So Guesty will be keen to stay on the back tail of Homesick Alien. and find out where that 7/10 is. Matt Psycho is virtually on top of Guesty. And we've got a lovely three-way battle at the front. Ensign Yu at 9/10, shy of Matt Psycho, 8/10 ahead of Coy, 1.7 for Jim, but we know Jim's got that pace in there, and Pat 2/10 off of Jim's time in 7th. And this is going to be a delicious little race coming up, but I don't know if they're quitting out because of Groot. And we saw Groot tried last time around, but his gearbox just, I don't think he'd given himself a racing gearbox. I think he was trying to drive in a neutral with that road one. So Koi Carp in the chat saying, I'm not keen on this track one little bit. Oh no. And Matt Psycho saying, ooh, these cars are interesting. And Pat says, think my gears are a little bit off in a couple of places as well. That Homesick Alien has posted his gears up in Discord if anyone wants to check them out. He's got them set at 143. Maximum speed 143. So I'm not sure what's going on. We're gonna go ahead like it's the beginning of a race until Homesick Alien says exit for Groot or something. Alpha said he's not racing. It's always odd that they always put second place on pole, but it is Homesick Alien, trust me. No, he is asking for an exit, a big out. People gotta leave, gotta get out. That's because of Koi Carp's Y earlier. A complaint has been put in. So I'm sure that is to try and coax Groot to join and enter in. 143 set that to gearbox Groot. And now Homesick Alien has to set up he's got to get everyone to enter, and then he's got to set up the grid, and then we will be away. I didn't see Bandit in the qualifying as well. Did he bail from quali? Or has he done that on purpose to be last? It's a strange one. I saw him say something about red flag. Tasty coffee. Lovely. Saucy. Yeah, Matt, these Clios are an absolute blast. They stick to the track. Like the track's made of glue. But when they go, they go. But they're fun. They're fun little beasts. Oh, Groot's unsure. He's unentered. So unsure what's going on at the moment. Maybe he's quickly changing some gearboxy things. He might be chatting to Homesick on Messenger or something. Homesick maybe directing him of best gearbox positions. He's had no practice if he does race. That's the balls of a steel man. I don't mind. I'm enjoying my little latte while sitting here watching the menu screen. Groot's back in. Jim's not in yet. Come on, Jimbo. You'd want to. You can't help it. You got that racing in your blood. And it's too expensive to go and do it for real. So it's good just to do it for pretend. Well, I've heard an engine, so I'll go to the track. We're going trackside now here, and Australia. And it is Koi Carp that's exited the pit lane. And he's going to give the crowd a little something to look at. A few donuts in the Clio. And Alpha saying he is coming back racing soon. And we cannot wait. It is thrilling to see Alpha Nut behind the wheel. And Turtle saying no quali. Suns was screaming like a sea lion. Ooh, sea lions. I wonder if they've got any oil value. And Muddy saying, I feel you, Turtle. I really do. Matt saying, thanks, Homesick, for setup and gearing. And Pat saying, have you seen my front and rear plates? Hey, Pat, you invited me to check your front and rear out. Because if that's what we're talking... What's Jim doing? Oh, yeah, I've always been nice to Jim. Always had nice things to say about him. But that's just like, oh, my wife's going, can you get that knife out my back, darling? Because Jim just stabbed me in it. Cheers, Jim. So, sea lion oil. It's got a ring to it. For boats, there you go. That's the promotion. Cars, seal oil, and for boats, if you're chugging on the sea, you need sea lion oil. Rah, make your motorboat roar. Right, anyway, where's Pat? I've got to look at his front and his back. Cannot wait, Pat. Here we go. Chase cam. Teth me. What's that say? Crikey. Crikey, Gov. And looking backwards. Good day, mate. Nice. Very good, Pat. Impressive. You are the livery master. Certainly are. It's the small details, Pat, that is amazing. And there we go then. So we're going to go for a race. Cannot wait. Rather excited. I love Australia. I love the Clios. And this is going to be bonza. Ah, the latte. Let's check it out. So, as always at Bathurst, the pole and second seem to be reversed. Homesick's on the inside, on the front, and so Guesty is on the front. Very tight looking, and there we go here. And Guesty slightly ahead of the Alien, but the Alien does get the inside line for Hell's Corner, I believe. Oh, they're side by side. No quarter given there, and they're still side by side coming up the hill. Matt Psycho will get a little toe off of one of those, and he could help. He could bump or he could take. What will he do? Not much room for an overtaking there for Matt Psycho, but he's just edged a little ahead of Guesty. Guesty on the outside of this, and now he slips in there into third as they fight over the first corner, and Matt Psycho, no messing, goes ahead and takes lead straight away. Bubba ding, bubba dung. And there's Guesty on the outside, but he's in bad position for this corner, and Homesick Alien's whipping it up the inside of Guesty, but Guesty protects it. Ensign Hewitt's right in the mix as well, and this is fun stuff. Koi Carp in 5th, Pat 6th, Groot in 7th, Jim is in 8th, and Bandit there is in 9th, and it's Matty Psycho that is running away with it, tearing away with it, and Homesick Alien slipping down into 4th now, and Ensign Hewitt is challenging. Whoa, wiggle there from a couple of them. Ensign Hewitt particularly, but I saw Homesick Alien's back end stepping away as well, and now Guesty's closed that gap up to Matt Psycho, and we've got a race on our hands here, ladies and gentlemen. And a special race. Look at them. These Clios, dead sexy. Ensign Hewitt then in 3rd, Homesick Alien in 4th. He's got Koi Carp right there, right now. And then we've got Pat in 6th, Groot in 7th, he's being chased by Jim. Very tight between the two of them. And Groot, 6th gear, he's screaming that, but he's going to have good drive. Oh, it's a little short, them gears. Jim, that's how Jim's getting up with him. But Groot managing to stay ahead, and Bandit there as well, chasing them down. But out the front we've got Guesty ahead of Matt Psycho. Matt Psycho looking to make the challenge. Homesick Alien's got himself ahead of Ensign. Ensign's had a drop. He's had a drop somewhat, and now Guesty, Pat and Koi Carp have found themselves ahead, and Pat's got himself ahead of Koi Carp. Is all action down here at Bathurst. Homesick Alien 3rd, then Matt Psycho chasing down Guesty. 30 minutes of pure adrenaline racing here in Oz in the Renault Clio, and it's action-packed so far with Guesty and Matt Psycho pulling away. Homesick Alien, he'll be wanting to claw back that deficit of 1.8 seconds and get into that battle. Pat at the moment dealing with Koi Carp on a toe, a bender. He's going for it up the inside. Glorious overtaking from Koi Carp. Now it's a battle of the brakes, and Koi on them, onto the apex. Done, dusted, thank you, sir. And Pat raring to come back at him in 5th place on board with the Pasta. And he's looking for a gap here, he's looking for a gap there. Guesty still leads from Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien in 3rd. We've got Koi Carp we're looking at in 4th, and sat on board with Pat, just behind Pat. Pat can't make a single mistake because he's got Ensign Newitt, and somehow Bandit jumped from 9th up until 7th. Groot, I'm not sure who's gone, and Jim there in 8th, and we can see Pat just feathering that car around the top of the mountain, and now he's going to bring her back down again. That's going to change the whole feeling. He's caught Koi Carp up very fast. He's had to get heavy onto the brakes. The back end does not want to sit still for him, but he struggles and saves and survives. And Ensign Newitt must have had a view and a half there. He must have thought, wowzers. And Pat recomposes himself. Guesty still leads from Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien. We'll check out their progress. There we go. Guesty's pulled 8 tenths out on Matt Psycho. Homesick Alien's pulled in at about 7 tenths. And the leaders are starting to come together. Koi Carp leads Pat and Ensign Newitt. They're in a lovely little battle. There we go. Bandit is in 7th, just ahead of Jim. And Groot, I think his gearbox just too short this time. Too long last time, too short this time. Sorry, Grootster. Mama Homesick is in the chat. And I do not want to miss that. Mama Homesick saying, hi Thingy, come on son. 3rd place at the moment, chasing down those leaders. He was the fastest man in quali. So he's got every chance. He's pulled Matt Psycho in to within a second. Matt Psycho going a little wide, coming out of Hell's Corner. And now he's vulnerable, going up the straight. Pat's up into 4th and Ensign. So, oh my word, Koi Carp's dropped down a couple of places there, but he's still in contention. But there we go, Ensign Newitt, he's going for the outside. Pat covering off that inside, going up the mountain. And it's side by side. It's going to be a battle of the brakes. And Pat's got that inside line covered off. Ensign letting him know he's there. And Koi might steal this one from both of them. Pat's gone a little wide. He's been late on the brakes. And Ensign Newitt is through. And Koi Carp's there challenging Ensign Newitt. But Ensign Newitt's got the move done. He's in 4th. He's got 7 seconds to the Alien. But he's got his hands full now with Koi and Pat breathing down his neck. Jim only 6 seconds down the road. And that is achievable to catch him up as they get into battles. Bandit's dropped off now. Oh my God. We know he's having children issues at home. They've got out the cage somehow. They must have picked the lock, and he has to keep going and scooping them back into the cage. So Guesty leads this race by 8 tenths. Matt Psycho hunting him down, but and Homesick's dropped off a little bit as well. They're seesawing, I tell you, at the front, with Ensign Newitt staying strong ahead of Koi Carp, and Pat's dropped off that battle a second, and Jim can start licking is McDonald's because Pat's dropping off the battle, but he's staying there. No, he's not. He's back in it again. They thought he was done, man. Thought he was finished, but he's back in the game. So Ensign Newitt got to stay calm, keep a calm head above his shoulders, with the pressure of Koi Carp and Pat behind him, thrusting forward. Down under in the bush. Oh, Guesty! He's made a mistake. He's made a mistake in the chase. Matt Psycho punishing him for it. Gives him a good spank up the butt to say naughty and thank you as he gets by for the lead. And Homesick Alien is in the shout now. And it's all go, go, go up the front. Change for Matt Psycho leading from Guesty. And Homesick Alien within 3 tenths. Guesty, the immense pressure must have just got to him. Excuse me. Ensign Newitt, 4 tenths ahead of Koi. They've lost Pat a little bit in that final part of the lap. And Jim's within 6 seconds now. He's catching up with Pat. And Jim, good lap time, 2:31. And it was a 2:32 from Pat. 2:30 from Koi. Ensign Newitt doing a 2:30 as well. Sweet. Groot, a 2:30 from him. He's on pace. He's on pace and he can see Jim. So it's not all over and done with. I imagine that is squirty as you like through the S's. the shorter gearbox. It's just down the straights. It's tough to get a move done, especially in the toe. And Matt Psycho nearly a second ahead of Guesty now. And Guesty and Homesick Alien just lately keep finding each other on track and keep giving us some real epic battles, which gives Talleyrand a lot of work to do, trying to snip them up for TikTok. There you can see. Shall we get on board with the Alien as he sets himself up for a move on Guesty? Guesty looking wild in the corners there. Ooh, Homesick's back end wanting to leave him behind, but he gathered her up and he's back on track again to go full attack, full beans against Guesty. And you're joining us here for the Virtual Racers Club Friday evening event, the DR3 F1 Career Memorial Clio race. I'm sure we all would love to thank DR3 for his contribution. It's amazing. Matt Psycho and Guesty dicing up front, but Matt Psycho at the inside line, but Matt Psycho's back end does not want to settle down in the corner, and Guesty says, yep, that's how it feels. Cheers. And he's through, up into the lead again, and Matt Psycho just that back end into the chase, just wanting to get away from him. And now Homesick Alien is going to add to his bother, and Homesick Alien clever, getting up the inside early in Hell's Corner, and he's going for a move. He started that move halfway down the straight, and Matt Psycho could not defend that one. And good Strofe Jeff Clive. Strofe Clive, he made a great move. He pulled it off halfway up the straight. And now Matt Psycho coming back at the Alien. Tie my kangaroo down sport. This is a move. And again, a beautiful move there from the young Brit, from the Limey. He pulled it off great. He found a way up the inside. And then he just he licked the stamp. And he sent it. Guesty, though, meanwhile, with all that racing going on behind him, he is cracking on, sir, for another win in the Clios. This definitely is a car of his... it must be one of the cars he likes, because he does well in them. I didn't know how to word that. A car of his choosing, but it wasn't a car of his choosing, because Homesick chose him, but I'm sure it's a car he likes to drive, because he does well. Matt Psycho, he looks like he's going to be converted to the Clios, because they are fun. They're just fun. Oh, he might not be as fun at the moment. It keeps stepping out on him, and Homesick Alien following suit with that back end. Ensign Newitt still doing a cracking job out there. He's dropped Koikarp somewhat, and how are we getting on down here? Pat's dropped another second off of them, but Jim hasn't gained on him, and Groot, he's only 3.5 seconds behind Jim. He's really putting in some good lap times as well. At 2:29, he'll catch Jim up at this rate. Bandit has gone. It must be hard to get those kids back in their cage, so he's had to accidentally leave the lobby, and he's going to have to physically chase them with the swatter. So Guesty out there, 4.8 seconds. Where's Matt Psycho go? And Homesick Alien, they seem to have lost a lot of ground. Oh no, Matty's gone straight on through the chase. He hasn't even bothered with that corner. He says no siree. And there's something, maybe the wheel's gone weird at home. Maybe he's having some hardware problems. And Ensign Newitt likes that. 2.6 seconds from Matt Psycho. Guesty 4.8 seconds. He's on a flyer. 2:26 he's just pulled out of the bag there. Homesick Alien at 2:30 that last lap. And that is why he's 4 seconds adrift of Guesty. Matt Psycho, he had a bit of an issue in the final corner, and he's done a little suspension damage. It's gone now, though. And that's given Ensign Newitt something to look at, as he's dropped Koikarp, and that pressure is going away. But Koikarp just did a 2:28.3 with Ensign Newitt doing a 2:28.4. It's very close, but Koikarp on the comeback. There's a podium. There's a podium at stake here, lads. so we can be a full beat racing. Turtle saying that is gently said, a flip-flop will do better. Okay, that was Turtle, the Turtle Bandit, Cowabunga dude, in our live chat stream. Obviously, I said he was going to use a swatter, but he's going to use a flip-flop. So Guesty leading by 4 seconds. So Homesick Alien has pulled a bit of time in, 8/10 in so far. Matt Psycho, he's lost the leaders a little bit, but anything can happen. We saw how easy these cars step away, and that can happen to the leaders as well. Ensign Ewart, a fine race in 4th place in this Clio, with Koikarp in 5th, Pat 6th. Pat making a small mistake there, giving Jim half a chance, and Groot still pulling in Jim. Oh, Jim is a bit wild in the S's, and Groot very much closer now, 2.4 seconds, and Groot can smell the exhaust fumes coming off of that Clio V6, and he is fancying a little piece of that action. Pat making mistakes. We saw slightly, although 229s aren't bad. He's 3.8 seconds behind Koikarp. He's in the 28s. Ensign Ewart also in the 28s. And we're coming up to halfway on this race at the moment. Guesty, can he smash another fastest lap? Not this time. And it looks like Guesty is a little bit faster in some parts than Homesick Alien, because it's back up to 4.8 seconds, a very long track. So they might be faster in different parts of the track than each other. Matt Psycho, he's pulling away from Ensign Ewart, did a 227.1. You can see the Alien ahead. He'll be willing, the Alien, to make a mistake. Homesick Alien getting the purple then as he went through that sector. And it's all to fight for as Ensign Ewart, he'll be praying that the guys up ahead come a cropper. He's getting purples in that first sector as well. Koikarp chasing him down. 28.8 from Koikarp last time around. Ensign a 28.4. Pat 29.9. Jim managing a 29.2. And Groot ever getting closer to Jim Bob. 28.3 from Groot. Homesick got it under 4 seconds, but that's not where the battle really lies, is it? Oof, Pat's lost a big chunk of time there, and it looks like Jim is on the ascension here. Car 66. He's being chased by Groot. He's keeping him honest. 2 seconds behind him, and he can just about see Pat. So everything to race for Jim in the Clio. Up ahead, Guesty being chased by Homesick Alien. There's a few seconds there between those two though. Matt Psycho, after we saw him having a big off in the chase, after fighting for the lead of this race, and now he's driving for 3rd spot and maybe a fastest lap. Ooh, Jim, hungry like the wolf, hunting himself down. A koala bear out there. He's got Groot really close now. I think this is where Jim... Oh, Pat going off in a straight line. Is he typing? Concentrate, Pat. Eyes on the road. It's down to 1.6 seconds, but Groot's chasing Jim down. But Jim's got a bit of a longer gearbox. You can see he's just pulled a couple of tenths out on Groot. But Groot... Oh, Pat, Jim Bob, a little late on the brakes in the chase. And Groot will be rubbing his hands indeedly doodly, because now it's the orange car versus the black car, and it's a race on with Jim with the longer gearbox, but Groot getting better in the corners with that shorter gearbox, and it's all to play for out there as Groot now closes in. And this is where Groot gets the benefit, coming out of the corners on a shorter gearbox. He can get the jump done, but it's when you get to the end of the straight, Jim will have the strength. And at the moment it's showing Groot is ahead of Jim. waiting. Well, he's got there and he's done the job, and he can pull away in these corners now. So Groot up into 7th, only 3.5 seconds behind Pat. Pat did a 31 last time around. He's sliding around his Pat. Car getting a little uncomfortable. It shed a quarter of its fuel. It'll be getting lighter. Maybe it's a little temporary, temperamental in the corners as it gets lighter. And Pat is racing for 6th place there. Coy has dropped some 4 seconds back. There's a yellow flag. Where? And it's green again. Who was it? Who was it? It's got to be Homesick Alien, hasn't he? 7 seconds away from Guesty. Now Matt Psycho, he says, yeah, more of that, please. You can see the Alien just ahead of him. Just after Homesick Alien getting the fastest lap with a 25.7. He's going to end up doing like a 28 or 29 this time round. And Guesty, walk in the park. Superb stuff. Matt Psycho down to less than 3 seconds on Homesick Alien now. And Ensign Ewart, he's 3.6 seconds. He did a 27.3. Cars are getting faster every lap as the fuel sheds. We've got 10 minutes left of racing here at Bathurst. Coy Carp, solid 5th place. Didn't have the pace on Ensign Ewart quite. And Pat, he's trying to survive ahead of Groot. He's got 10 more minutes to go. And Groot is nippy in the corners. And there you can see him. Down to less than 3 seconds now. Groot really is finding his stride in the Clio. And he's hunting himself a Pat. Pat with his fastest lap of the race so far, a 28.9. Groot managing a 27.4 though. And my words, it's going to be an intense end of the race for Pat and Groot. Koikar pretty much, I think, safe there. 7 seconds ahead of those boys. He's going faster. He's putting in a final assault on Ensign Ewart. Ensign Ewart can see Matty Psycho. What's going on? Oh my word. Matt Psycho having another issue that lap just as he was closing in on the Alien. The Alien did a 2:32 last time around. And it's all changed. Look at Ensign Ewart, 2 seconds. He's getting rather excited as Koikart starts closing the gap on him. And now it's down to less than 2 seconds between Groot and Pat. Let's get on board with the Master. And we'll have a sip of Red Bull. Thanks for that, Groot. I just saw your helmet. And I thought that's not a bad call. Again, Akipak Racing is who Groot represents, where he comes from. They're on Discord, they're on Facebook. They hold fantastic endurance races. And when I say endurance races, real ones, 24 hours, 12 hours. They don't mess about. And they are great. I've commentated on a few stints myself. And they kick up some fantastic racing. And the Akipak's team are a force to be reckoned with. They are tight. As you can see, Groot pulling in Pat. Unbelievable driving at the moment from Groot. Guesty, it's all gone his way today. He had to race with Homesick at the beginning, then with Matt Psycho, but he's come out glorious and ahead. Homesick Alien, I'm sure there's been a couple of little mistakes in there. He'd rather forget that 2:30 on lap 5 and that 2:32 on lap 8. Just wasn't consistent enough to go up against the Guesty today. Matt Psycho, 2:26.3, coming back with a bang. Matt Psycho just getting used to the Clio. And, you know, Guesty and Homesick Alien drove them last week around Brazil. So they're accustomed to the cars. But Matt Psycho just getting introduced, just finding the sweet spot with it. Ensign Ewart doing an absolutely super job. Only 3 seconds behind Matt Psycho. It's just gone faster than he's gone in this race before. Koikar. Oh, Groot's ahead. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Groot's ahead by some way. I think Pat may have made a mistake there. And now Groot, 9.7 seconds with 7 minutes to go. He is chugging along, but Koikarp's in the 27s as well, you see. and all the time Koikar's pulling out 27s from his derriere, then Groot is going to struggle to catch him, as he is in the 27s as well. Ensign Ewart also in the 27s there. Matt Psycho in the 26s last time out. Homesick Alien, he's been putting it in the 25s, really going some beans out there. And he has pulled back Guesty somewhat. Maybe he's done that absolutely killer fast lap time, Homesick, to entice Guesty into a fastest lap battle, and hoping Guesty will have an off, trying to push for that fastest lap. It's all psychological games. The mind games out there is unreal. Psychological warfare. And again, Matt Psycho running out another good lap, it seems. He's got himself within 5 seconds of the Alien. Homesick Alien is pushing that car to its very limits. He's lost 6/10 on this lap. As Matt Psycho's lost a 10th, but still he's gaining. So Groot, 9 seconds. He needs Koikarp to get a bit sloppy, and Koikarp so far been doing some fantastic laps, so not much chance of that, I think, for Groot. Pat and Jimbo is like 10 seconds back. He's done some, his last couple of laps have been rather shocking. I think he's a lost heart now. He can't see the cars. Pat as well, using this as a test session maybe for the next race, working out what he needs to change on his car to get that sweet spot. And Groot, 9.7 seconds. Coy did a 26.8 last time around, so Coy, someone's put a fire up his Jaxie, and he is absolutely pelting it. 26.9 for Groot. I know the cars are getting lighter, so they are going faster, but it's a beautiful sight. Ensign Ewart, 3.7 seconds. He did a 26.6 last time around. Matt Psycho, 26.3. 4.8 seconds behind Homesick Alien, who only did a 26.7 there. And Guesty at 26.0. Don't get dragged into it, Guesty. Don't get dragged into that fastest lap battle. He's only doing it to make you have an off. Psycho, 4.5 seconds behind the Alien, 3.8 seconds ahead of Ensign Ewart. Ensign Ewart leaving Coy behind a little bit. Coy holding pace, so Groot cannot catch him. Pat having a few issues. That lap, he was doing lovely consistent lap times, but he's just slipped into the 32s, that one. Oh, he's driving on a knife edge, isn't he, Pat? He's really pushing that car for all it's worth. It's leaning on its chassis. Surprised he hasn't got a wheel up in the air the way he's listering around. Oh, what a shame. He was on a flyer, a second faster, and then he had a meeting with the wall. And no, Groot cannot make any impression on Koikarp. Koikarp driving top notch today, and he's untouchable by Groot. And Ensign Ewart, steady 4 for him, keeps getting those good positions, doesn't he? Does Ensign Ewart, coming through the ranks, man to watch in the future. Like this man here, Matt Psycho, I think he's got a couple of championships in him when he puts his heart to it. He's 3.8 seconds behind the Alien, so he is pulling him in. Oh, he gets himself fastest lap of the race, which is a trophy in itself. And Homesick Alien did a 26.4 his last time around. And Groot, guessed he's lost a big chunk of time out there. He was chasing that fastest lap, wasn't he? Now it's down to 4 seconds. Matt Psycho 3.6 seconds behind. We've still got 2.5 minutes of racing. What's that? This lap, I guess. It's going to be touch and go when they get to the line. Ensign Ewart 4 seconds behind those guys. Koikarp 5.8 seconds behind Ensign. He's getting purples through the first sector. He's trying to stay ahead of Groot, who fought his way up into 6th place. Pat in 7th. And Jim, back in the 29. So Jim back on a nice steady pace again after losing some time. And it's 3.2 seconds for Guesty. All he's got to do is stay on the track, and the win is his. Homesick Alien and Matt Psycho hoping the guys ahead of him and make some mistakes. Guesty still pushing like a bat out of hell, and he's not wasting no time. Homesick Alien chasing him down with Matt Psycho. Oh, Matt Psycho's had a bump, and he's got 5 seconds on Ensign. Here comes Ensign Ewart, and Matt Psycho might have to defend for the last lap of this race as Ensign Ewart smells a podium, and he says, I'll have a podium if there's one going. Just coming around to Forest Elbow onto the straight, and Ensign Ewart's not quite close enough to pick up a toe. Well, he's a second behind. I've heard it's 8 tenths. But he's there going into the chase, and is he brave enough to break that late? 3.9 seconds for Guesty at the moment. He's just, well, no, I think Guesty, he might have to do another lap. I'm wrapping it up. But there's 40 seconds on the clock, and there's only one corner for Guesty to go through. Homesick Alien as well possibly could do another lap. Matt Psycho staying ahead of Ensign Ewart. And Guesty does cross the line with 30 seconds, 25 seconds on the clock. And he has to do another lap. Oh, there's going to be a few of them do another lap. This is great. Homesick Alien, 3.8 seconds behind Guesty. Matt Psycho lost a chunk of time on that one. 2:30, hitting the wall. Ensign Ewart, 2 seconds behind Matt Psycho. He fancies it. 6 seconds on the clock. Koikarp's got through. Groot is gonna not quite. He's gonna be our first finisher in 6th place. Super job from Groot. Pat coming home in 7th with his very Australian livery, and Jim coming home in 8th place. But he had the pace. Jim's got the pace. Watch him in the next race. Meanwhile, out there we've got Guesty leading. 2.5 seconds as Guesty lost even more time. Homesick Alien pushing him all the way to the finish line. Matt Psycho 2 seconds ahead of Ensign Ewart. Koikarp, definite 5th on the cards there for him, but there might be some changes up front. 2.5 seconds Guesty's got on Homesick Alien as they come around into the S's, and this is where anything can happen. Guesty's still pushing hard, racing all the way to the line, and nothing's going to stop him now. The win is in his grasp as he goes around Forest Elbow, down the long straight. Homesick Alien 3 seconds adrift. Matt Psycho, he's pulled out a bit more time on Ensign Ewart, and this looks like this is going to be the finishing order. Guesty, another win in the Clio. He's going to get to keep the car. He keeps winning in it. Homesick Alien, 3 seconds adrift. 7 seconds for Matt Psycho. Ensign Ewart, a solid drive for 4th there. Had a lovely battle with Koikarp and Jim, I believe it was, and Pat, wasn't it? And here comes Guesty coming up to the final corner here at Bathurst to take a glorious win from race 1 of the DR3 F1 Career Memorial Clio race. Well done, Guesty. Fantastic drive. Homesick Alien comes home in 2nd and the fastest lapper to boot. And Matt Psycho, take a boo, my son. First time out in the Clios, gets a podium. Ensign Ewart grabs himself a good 4th place, and Koikarp brings her on home for 5th. If it was a championship, they'd be great points. Groot in 6th, Pat 7th, and Jim coming home in 8th. But I know Jim could have done so much more. I think a bit of unluck was on his is what his problems were. There he is, Guesty, showing off his trophy and his reef, and doing a superb job. Right. All the people coming back into the lobby. We'll check out those race results for you. Oh, I'm just reading Racer Brown's pathetic excuse why he's not racing tonight. So, Guesty, he's been cycling, he's tired. Guesty, why God invented cars. So Guesty takes the win with Homesick Alien in second, Matt Psycho in third. Great podium there from them guys. Ensign Newitt, best of the rest in fourth. Koi Cup in fifth. Groot in sixth. Pat seventh. And Jimbo comes home in eighth place. And let's have a look in the chat, because Pat and Matt have both added. Pat saying straight line acceleration not good enough. Need cars a bit stiff as well. Need to make a few significant changes, methinks. All brave in between the break. And Matt Psycho saying sorry, homesick. So I don't know what that means. Don't know if he insulted his mama or something like that. Right, so let's have a look to see. Oh, and Home Scaling got your fastest lap on lap 13 with a 25.416. Superb. Right, so I'm looking for a time, so I'm going to go for a quick cigarette, a quick e-cig. If anyone's saving replays, can someone share them after, please? I mean, I can, I suppose. Pat's obviously got no room on his oh, Ensign said he's going to do it. Pat got no room on his hard drive. Oh, and Matt in the chat again. Matthew, I lost it down the hill and blocked Homesick. Ah, there you go. And that's why he's apologising. Homesick will understand. No worries, mate. Just couldn't quite avoid you when wall grabbed hold. Beautiful. I'm good. I missed it. Gives a time, Homesick, 10 minutes. I'm going to go. Has he set up change room settings, rolling start, the rooms all 15. Right then, you guys go and have a look at the race winner in the pits, and I shall return soon. See you soon. Be good. Oh, hey man, you still here? Still hanging about, waiting for the next one? It's going to be a humdinger. Cannot wait. It's going to be some great racing. If you haven't been out cycling all day, you could enjoy it. Mr. Brown. You see, what I'm noticing with these guys that can't race on a Friday night, they blame their wives a lot, and I can't imagine their wives are that horrible, but they do paint them out to be these evil dragons that don't let them go racing. It's somebody, you know, got to spend time with the wife like it's a chore. Shouldn't be a chore to spend time with your wife. Got to go out with the wife. Well, you don't have to if you'd rather race and you know, spend some time with the wife. My God, you're married to her. You spend enough time with her. Get on the sim, get racing. You know those pictures you see every now and again where it's just an empty room with a sim rig right in the middle of the room? That's all men need to keep them happy. So, I mean, you know, why complicate things? In the chat then, the disparaging comments come. Decided chocolate more important than practice, says Matt Psycho. Chocolate. That's an excuse. Don't use your wife. Say chocolate beckons me. Chocolate and cheese. Right then. Sorry to all the wives out there. These guys, they're just terrible. Terrible. And Groot out there. I thought his gearbox was a little short in that last run. I don't know if he's lengthened it a little bit or he's sticking with it. Gives him good drive out the corners. He's going to be higher up the grid. It will be a reverse grid of the race 1 results. So Groot will be out there, top notch. Jimbo looking for a few seconds. He's comparing his times to those of Homesick Alien and Matt Psycho and Guesty, but what he doesn't realise is they're not real. They're not human. They are alien. They don't count. And the rest of the crew out there, they were all doing between 27s and 29s. And on a long track like Bathurst, there's lots of chances to make mistakes. So, and Matt Psycho said, I've made LSD changes. And Matt Psycho saying, no way, a bad idea. What, not comparing times with you, Homesick and Guesty? Or just a room with a sim rig in the middle of it? So Groot out there. 28.6 on a full tank. That's pretty nifty, I'd say. Matt Psycho's done a 26 though. He's changed LSDs, man. He's tinkered. And Matt Psycho saying, no, LSD changes before race 2. It's no way a bad idea. Oh, I'll get you. Sorry, I read it wrong. So they've had a tinker, a couple of tinkerings. I imagine Homesick's quite happy, although we saw a few loosey back ends out there. There's Coy, I don't know if he's altered anything. Second race, Guesty has not moved from that spot. Takes the win. I think he's still dancing in the back of the garage with his pit crew. Sharing the experience with his wife, I'm sure, rather than blaming her. And that's like her doing a big starey face with those changes. So Homesick Alien is readying us up. And the proper answer to ready is up. But some people just seem to think it's why. And it's just strange. Oi, says Ensign Hewitt. Matt Psycho going for an oi as well. Is that like foreign for yes? Guess the R. Groot's gone for an L. That's a new one on me. It doesn't matter. I don't know why I get so... Let's go and look at Groot, who's on track, actually. Let's go and have a look at Koi Cup, who's making his way around. And Pat with a ripper. He's got an R on it. I'm happy, man. It touches on criteria. It's French. Oh, oui. Is that oui? Ah oui. I didn't know it wasn't spelled with a W. I just always assumed it was spelled with a W and 2 E's. Oui. So there was a koi carp just entertaining the crowds with a few spins. And here we go for race 2 of the DR3 F1 Drive Memorial Clio race. It's in the post, Danny, I'm sure. It's not looking good for you, bro. So Jimbo is going to be at the top of this one. It's a rolling start, so it gives them a bit of breathing space. Groot looking behind Pat, didn't he get? Oh yeah, he got ahead of Pat. So he'll be looking to try and get some quick action on the go early doors. Koi carp on his case though, and the time has gone, and Jim leads them away for a 30-minute race here at Australia in the little Renault Clios, and they are wild. They've got loose back ends and they're just great fun. There's Pat chasing Jim down with Groot just behind them, and Koi carp chasing down Groot. Ensign Ewer in 5th with Matt Psycho in 6th, Homesick Alien 7th, Guesty in 8th, and it's all rather very civilized so far in the outback, down here in the bush, down under, having a good look at the undergrowth. And Jim at the moment doing a superb job leading him away, but Pat's going for an early move. No, he's not, he's just having a look. And Jim says, that's all right, when you look, I know what door to close. And Jim leading them away with Groot there in 3rd. Danger Man, we know he's very sharp in the corners with this Clio, gains a lot of his time, and he's all up in Pat's business right now. And Pat taking one eye off of Jim now because he's having to keep an eye on Groot. Oh, Pat's back end getting squirrely, and Groot is loving that. He's lapping some of that action up. Oh, I do like the long shots, but you can't see anything. And Groot looking for a way past the yellow and green Clio. Oh, Jim's knocked a wall, I believe. Jim's had a little knock on the wall. Oh my God, it's causing chaos behind. Jim trying to stay out of the way best he can as everyone tries to filter on through. No, they're not managing to get by, these guys. And Jim managing to save it in 4th place. Great stuff. Pat is your leader right now. Groot and then Koi carp breaking away from Jim, who had a moment with the wall, and the rest of the crew didn't know what to do. Jim's really got out of the way. He just wanted them to go by, I imagine. And now Matt Psycho into 4th with Homesick Alien fighting, and Guesty there as well. Ensign Hewitt somehow slipped behind them, and they're all coming down trying to go 4 wide into the kink, and it's not going to work, but they've all made it, so it did work. But Homesick Alien ahead of Guesty. Oh, Ensign Hewitt's back end stepping away from him, and Jim will be rate chuffed. And Ensign Hewitt, big job now. With Matt Psycho looking at the back of Koi carp's car. Matt Psycho was ahead of those guys. He'll be disappointed. He did make an LSD change before, and there is Pat leading ahead of Koi carp. And Groot is right there as well, and wowzers. Oh, Homesick Alien, he's ahead of Guesty, but Guesty's looking like he wants to come by, and there's nothing Homesick Alien can do about it. He's just sitting put, and Guesty goes through. Matt Psycho not too far behind him as well. There's still a lot of racing here today, with Jim 2 seconds behind him as well, and Ensign Hewitt, we saw him losing the back end of that Clio. And look at this bunch in the top 3, with Pat leading a Koi carp in the Castrol Oil Clio, and we've got Orange. I remember when they were a phone provider. I don't know if they even exist anymore. I actually were on them because you used to get free cinema tickets on a Wednesday. Was it Orange Wednesday? So yeah, look at the old days of Orange. No reception, awful. But I went to the cinema once a week. I can't remember. But Pat trying everything he can to keep Koi carp behind, and Koi carp is smelling an opportunity here for a win. We've still got 26 minutes to go. Wow, Groot pulled up to the back. Oh, Coy's sliding through the corners. Groot's coming through. Groot says, "I thank you, sir." And Groot and Coy Carp racing buddies from the old days of the VRC, when Groot was a firm fixture in the fundamentals of the Virtual Racers Club. One of the founders, helped make the rules. And Groot now taking the lead of this race. And there he goes, side by side all the way down. Pat's on the inside for the kink. And Groot's just edged a little ahead as they both go through. It's a delicious sight. And then it's all about the braking. Groot's on the inside, Pat's on the outside. He's got a wheel off. He's had a little knock with Coy, but Coy's made it through. Oh my word. What a lot of racing going on all in one time. Guesty, Homesick and Matt Psycho coming along for the fun. Ensign Newitt, he's 6 seconds adrift of those boys now, and only 2.6 seconds ahead of the gym. And it's Groot leading from Coy Carp, and Pat now in third place, but he's got Homesick Alien, Guesty and Matt Psycho breathing down his neck, and that is a very uncomfortable position to be in anyone's book. But Pat, he's got the balls to deal with it, and he's just going up the straight as Homesick Alien from the toe gets that inside line and gets through. Pat just holding his line, and Guesty's looking like he wants to get through as well. Pat was saying that he's losing a little bit of, his car's just not quite stiff enough, he said, and he's not quite getting the top end down the straight. And there you saw Homesick Alien and Guesty getting by, and Matt Psycho also through and chasing those guys. Groot leads by 1.7 seconds. Unstoppable now is Groot. He's got the lead. He's got a nice bit of fresh air in front of him, and he is slinging that Clio into every corner and making it count. Boom. His shoulders back, pelvis forward, and he's saying boom, boom with the pelvic thrust. And Coy chasing him down, but he's got Homesick Alien, Guesty, Matt Psycho coming through. The podium boys from race one. And that's, like I said, an uncomfortable position to be. Coy Carp on his day can hold his own against any of these guys, and is today that day. Groot now 2.5 seconds. Groot's really gone into another zone as Homesick Alien tries to get a toe from the Castrol Clio. He's bringing Guesty, Matt Psycho along with him. There's a weird bit of lag there. Looked like Homesick Alien was closer than that, but Coy will take it. Oh, Matt Psycho having a little look at Guesty there for fourth place. He was very tempted, wasn't he? We've got a lovely train of cars here. From second all the way down to sixth, I think. Pat's still in this shout. And Coy Carp doing his best to keep these Clios, the sea of Clios behind him, as Groot runs away in the distance for race 3. We are 7.5 minutes, well, nearly 8 minutes in. We've had some superb racing already. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more of this. Tuesday evening we'll be racing in the Group 2s for the Super GT. Thursday night we'll be in the Renault Meganes. Friday I'm not sure, but the week after it's the MX-5s, which I'm rather excited about. Whoa, Homesick Alien looking at the livery of Coy Carp. Got a wiggle on, and Guesty managing to get through. Homesick Alien slipping down a position, and now very vulnerable from Matt Psycho. And Matt Psycho knows what to do. He knows what to do. Meanwhile, Groot 3 seconds leading of these guys. Coy Carp still in that second spot. Now he's got Guesty. Oh, Guesty's got a wiggle on. He's had to go straight on. Oh my gosh, Homesick Alien and Guesty's hit a wall again. It's all gone a little Pete Tong for Guesty, and he's going to end up behind Pat. Pat withering around the outside. And Guesty, he's got all the work to do now, but there's still plenty of time, just under 21 minutes of racing. And we are having some lovely, delightful changes of places. Ensign Yu at 5.6 seconds adrift, unable to make any kind of effect on that. And Jim in 8th, 2:33. He was getting better pace out of his car. I don't know if he's changed something, but he's not getting the same pace as he was getting in race 1. And Koikap is now the leader. Group must have made a mistake. My gosh. We'll try it. But he's already ahead. So, yes. Koikap found 3 seconds on Groot. And now Koikap leading this race. Groot down into 2nd. Homesick Alien in 3rd. And Matt Psycho in 4th. All deliciously close together. Guesty already getting by Pat. And he's got to find 2 seconds on those boys ahead. But if they're all coming into a little crunch of a race together here at Bathurst, then Guesty will be right on their tails. Koikap leading this race. Fantastic stuff. He's got 19.5 minutes to take the pressure. And we saw he was doing some lovely steady laps in race 1. Mr. Consistent. It seems if he can just keep them consistent laps, there's not much the guys behind can do. Homesick Alien having a little look at Groot in a very tricky part of the track to try and do anything. You get hit by those walls, and we see what happened to Guesty. You knock one wall and then it's like ping pong off all of them. And there is a Matt Psycho trying to do the impossible, get a move done in these top section of the racetrack. Very tricky. Say top section, I mean the highest part, they're at the top of the hill. And there we go, Matt Psycho having another look. It is tight, very tight through here. All you can do is keep the pressure on, hope they make a mistake. And there you can see Guesty in the background, definitely catching those guys back up. He was over 2 seconds behind. This is a 2.3. And at the moment, Koikap doing a fantastic job. And this is where he could be at risk from the toe. And Groot sitting in that very toe, getting pulled along. And, will he go for the move? His gearbox definitely a lot longer than it was in race 1. He's gone for the move up alongside. But now Koikap's going to have the inside line. Did he break enough? They're through side by side, through the chase, side by side, both of them. Matt Psycho and Homesick Alien and Koikap and Groot. How delicious is that? Koikap still leads this race. And Groot's trying his hardest around the outside. Matt Psycho, opportunist up the inside of Groot, but he can't make it stick. And Groot holds the line. Koikap still in the lead of this race. Fantastic driving from all 4 of these. Delicious stuff here at Bathurst. Amazing. I can't express how wonderful it is. Koikap leading with Groot, Homesick Alien and Matt Psycho side by side up the straight. And I think Homesick might be getting a bit of a tow from Groot ahead of him. And that helps him get ahead, stay ahead of Matt Psycho. But Matt Psycho looming large in his mirrors, waiting to get a move done. Oh my. And all the time, Guesty is there on the horizon. Pat in 6th, 2 seconds ahead of Ensign Yu. Ensign Yu's got the fastest lap of the race so far. And Jim, he's up into the 31s. I think he's made changes in that car. So he was doing 28s in the race 1. And Pat, 1.4 seconds now. And Ensign Yu, it really is starting to bring him in. Let's have a look at this. My gosh, how great is that? Matt Psycho sat on board in 4th place, and it's chaos down here in the top 4. And you can see the Clio just wants to sling Matt Psycho off to the side of the road, but he has to keep shearing on that steering wheel, keeping her in line. And there we go, Koi Carp through. And Groot having another look as they come around to Forest Elbow, and Groot's going for the move. Koi's heavy on the brakes, and Homesick Alien's lost it. My jeez. I don't know, I think that was under braking. Homesick Alien went sideways straight into the middle of Koi Carp. Let's have a look. So Homesick Alien there, they're coming around for the braking. Groot gets the move done. Oh, he touched the dust a bit there, did Homesick Alien. Groot goes for the move. Homesick Alien's flying in there, and the back end just went like a pendulum. There wasn't much he could do about that. And Guesty coming through as well. Unbelievable, Jeff. Fantastic driving. So there's Groot and Matt Psycho leading this race now. Koi Carp in third. I don't know if Guesty redressed. There was a bit of contact when Guesty came past Koi. But this race is wide open, sir. And Homesick Alien now down into 5th place. Ensign Hewitt only 3.2 seconds behind. He's got himself ahead of Pat, and he's just keeps he's got the fastest lap of the race so far. And Jim Bob not having a good time. He's gone into the pits. He said he may do that. He's going to try and do a few laps. And here we go then, the battle of Matt Psycho and Groot. This is the beginning of their story. I do believe I don't think they did come across each other in the Akipax endurance race. I know Matt Psycho took part in the last 24-hour one, but I don't think they were on at the same stint as each other. So Matt, say hello to Groot. Groot, say hello to Matt. I can see this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship between two very hard racers out there. Koi Carp then in that podium position with Homesick Alien just ahead of Guesty. He's got himself back ahead of Guesty. Guesty, the race winner from the last race, the race before this one, just now we had. And Guesty down in 5th. With Koi Carp sitting in a very comfortable 3rd at the moment. Not much Homesick Alien and Guesty can do about him. And how is Homesick Alien going to approach this corner down here? Is he going to be ginger? Is he going to be very ginger after... Oh, Matt Psycho's through. I apologise. Matt Psycho's taken the lead from Groot. And Koi Carp and Homesick Alien. Homesick Alien survives it this time around. And Guesty there. So yeah, Matt Psycho has got through to the lead. He's pulled away some as well. 7/10 from Groot. And could it be Matt Psycho's second time out in the Clios? He's going to take a win. Fantastic stuff. Mama Homesick in the chat saying, go on Homesick. He can do it. Still plenty of time to go. 13 minutes just under. Matt Psycho leads from Groot. Groot chasing him down though, not giving it a rest. There's Homesick Alien up to 3rd. He's got himself ahead of Koi. He's been trying that one for a while now, and it looks like he might have it, but Koi's in the inside. Oh, and Guesty wanted to turn in, but he had a load of Koi on the inside of him, and he could not turn in. And Koi Carp now in 4th. Guesty in 5th. Homesick Alien free as a bird in 3rd, but he's 4 seconds behind Groot, and he's got a mountain to climb as Groot and Matt Psycho commence more battling. Groot closing in on Matt Psycho in the toe, getting closer, coming into the next corner. And what a beautiful battle those two are having in this race. Hopefully there'll be another Clio next Friday at Dragon's Trail. I don't know. But Matt Psycho at the moment keeping Groot there in 2nd. Homesick Alien, he'll love it if they could start battling a little more so he could try and catch up with them and get in there. And Koi Carp has got a rear view mirror full of the graffiti Clio of Guesty, as Guesty wants to get on as well, the race 1 winner. Ensign Hewitt 3.3 seconds behind that battle, and he's 5 seconds ahead of Pat. And Jimbo has put it in the pits for the evening. And there we see Matt Psycho under a lot of pressure as he slings it through. those twisty corners. Oh yeah, coffee. And Matt Psycho managing to stay ahead of Groot through that section, but this is the tough one. This is the toe. Groot will be in the sweet spot now, coming down the long straightaway. And Matt Psycho getting some good lap times, 1.5 seconds up in that sector. And there we go. Oh, he's just managed to stay ahead. Groot got it down to about 0.2 of a second, and Matt Psycho is feeling a lot of pressure there. Homesick Alien hasn't gained any time on him whatsoever in third, but he has pulled 2 seconds out on Coy, as Guesty is still all up in Coy's business, trying to find a way through. And Coy Carp a little wide coming out that corner. Is that the invitation that Guesty needs? He's up in the inside along the straight, and I think, yes, just a slight, going slightly wide. Coy Carp in that final corner, Murray's corner, has cost him that position, but he's right there, is Coy Carp in the toe, and he'll be trying to get that position straight back. Homesick Alien, 0.2 he's gained on the two leaders there, who are never further than half a second apart, and Groot really is pushing Matt Psycho to the flag in this one. 9.5 minutes left of this 30-minute race, and it has been action-packed, I do tell you. And Homesick Alien then third, and there was more action down here. Coy Carp having a look at Guesty. Oh, that was a brave move. If he was going to go up the inside there, it usually means both cars in the wall. And Coy Carp looking for another way past Guesty. Guesty now 3.6 seconds behind Homesick Alien, who's 3.4 seconds. He's just got the fastest lap with a 25.4. Groot did a 25.7 last time around. Matt Psycho a 25.7 also. And now the fuel is dropping off these cars. They're starting to go faster. And Homesick Alien. Oh no, Guesty making a mistake, and that's put Coy Carp up and through. And Coy Carp up into 4th place now, with Guesty making that small mistake. Guesty, is he driving beyond the car's limits? Is he pushing too hard? Matt Psycho pulling out a little bit of a breathing space on Groot now, nearly a second ahead. Homesick Alien not gaining though, even though he got that fastest lap. They're just as fast. It's 10ths we're talking about. Coy Carp, oh, Guesty having another look in the chase. These two absolutely battle royale out there between the Graffiti Clio and the Castrol Clio. Unbelievable racing we are witnessing, and it is helping Ensign a little bit. Oh, again, Coy a little wide coming out that corner, giving Guesty the opportunity. And can Guesty make this one stick? This time losing even more time to Homesick Alien ahead of him. I do not think Guesty's going to manage a podium. And Coy straight coming back at him. The audacity of the man. He loves it, and he is ahead. So Guesty has found a great little race buddy there. Ensign Ewer, he's loving it. He's gaining on him. He did a 27.2 last time out. Guesty did a 28.6 and a 28.6 for Coy Carp as well. That's second a lap. Oh, I thought Coy Carp was sideways in that corner. It definitely looked at it. And Guesty now going for another move. He's got the inside now on Coy. And does he make it stick? It looks like he does. Coy's a little wide. I think he's had a little knock with the wall. And guess who's coming? Ensign Ewer on sight. Sir, and it looks like Pat's pitting as well. He's had enough. Bathurst taking its toll on these boys. I said it's not for the faint-hearted. And then I'm wondering what sort of messages I'm going to get in Discord from the admin for calling them all yellow bellies. And being scared, using their wives as shields. I've heard of people using their wives as beards before, but never shields. But Matt Psycho leading this race. 2 seconds now from Groot. Great drive from Groot. Homesick Alien slipped back even more, it seems, from that battle. And Guesty's only 2 seconds behind Homesick Alien. I said there was no possibility of a podium. We've got just under 6 minutes of racing. And Guesty is gaining on the Alien. The Alien must have made a small mistake there. Koikarp, he's going to have his fans full. Koikarp has had to race this whole race, bless him. He's been battling the whole 24 and a half minutes we've been racing so far, and it's not over yet, because now he's got to deal with Ensign Hewitt, who has got a rocket up his jacksie, and he's coming fast. Meanwhile, Matt Psycho, 2 seconds from Groot, gets the fastest lap with a 24.9. Oh, that was last lap, sorry. 26.3 that time. 26.7 from Groot. Doesn't matter, because Homesick Alien made a small mistake on that one. Well, 26.7 is not too much. Guesty must be flying. 1.1 seconds behind Homesick Alien. Koikarp is doing just enough to stay ahead of Ensign Hewitt. But we've still got just under 5 minutes of racing here, sir, and anything could happen. So far, Matt Psycho is leading by 2 seconds. Seems to be doing a cracking job of it. Groot chasing him down. What more has he got in the next 4.5 minutes, and can he deliver something? A crushing blow to Matt Psycho's winning hopes. Homesick Alien looking good for a podium, but Guesty does have a couple of words to say about that podium, and Koikarp has got his hands full with a bunch of Ensign Hewitt. Are they not too far behind Guesty? They're only 2 seconds behind Guesty. The field is very tight still. Apart from Matt Psycho and Groot, this is a very close pack. Still racing after 26 minutes, and they're all still very close together. Unbelievable stuff. 2 seconds now. Guesty is adrift of Homesick Alien. 2 seconds. Koikarp is adrift of Guesty. And Ensign Hewitt 3/10. 3/10 behind Koikarp. He is poised. He is poised. He just needs to sit with him through this section and get him down the straight after Forest Elbow. It's all there for him to take. Koi getting a good drive. Oh no, Koi's had a bump with the wall, and it makes it all too easy for Ensign Hewitt as he flies on by. But then Koi, could he have tricked him? Because now Koi does get the toe on Ensign Hewitt. And Ensign Hewitt is now going to have to defend going into the chase, because Koikarp getting a lovely toe. And then don't forget to brake. That's the worst part about this one. It's just not getting on the brakes early enough for the chase, and they both do. Beautiful racing from the pair of them. Ensign Hewitt in 5th versus Koikarp in 6th. And it's not over by a long shot. They're coming up to cross the line. 2:30. 2 minutes and 32 seconds remaining on the clock. They might get round to do another lap after this one. We'll see. Matt Psycho, he'll get round to do another lap. 2.8 seconds ahead of Groot. Homesick Alien slipped even further back from Groot. And Guesty is always looking like a threat to Homesick Alien's podium out there. Then we've got these pair, Ensign Hewitt and Koikarp, having a lovely battle. Didn't we see them two battling it out at Brazil last Friday? I think we did. I think they both said they very much enjoyed racing each other. And here they go again, Ensign and Koi, battling it out. Ensign, though, seems to be doing a solid job there. Koi looked like he had a bit of a moment through that corner. He's lost a bit of time. Matt Psycho, meanwhile, is leading by 3.5 seconds. He's flying now. And Groot getting good lap times. Maybe he lost it on this lap, not so much. Whoa, that back end is like it's on a rubber band. It's a pendulum, the back of that Clio. Homesick Alien, 8 seconds adrift. Only 1.6 seconds ahead of our man Guesty, and it's very tight, very close. quick look at the chat. Pat writes, I enjoyed Bathurst, just didn't have the car set right today. Was better and could almost keep up on straights in round 2, race 2. But after a couple of decent mistakes, it then sounded more exciting to listen to the close racing than drift further and further back. Fair enough, fair enough. We've had some cracking racing. You were part of that racing, Pat. But Guesty, 3/10 now on Homesick Alien, and we have definitely got a fight for the podium. I do believe they'll get across the line to start another lap before the timer runs out, but Guesty is on a push. Matt Psycho Groot have already crossed the line to start their final lap. And here we go, Homesick Alien and Guesty both wide coming out that final corner. Guesty going in for the kill. They both crossed the line with 8 seconds to spare. And I think Ensign Hewitt will get across the line. Koi Cup also gets across the line to start the final lap. And Pat's come out just to wave to the crowd and say goodnight. Matt Psycho then 5 seconds ahead of Groot. Groot's 9 seconds ahead of Homesick Alien, who's 3/10 ahead of Guesty. And Ensign Hewitt only 1.2 seconds ahead of Koi Cup. Anything could happen. It's a long lap here, and it's Homesick Alien who's having to deal with the pressure cooker from Guesty. And it's been an awesome evening events racing for the DR3 F1 Drive Memorial Clio race. And Matt Psycho then cruising to his first win in the Clio Cup, or the Renault Clio. Getting purples on his way. Groot, great effort, nearly got the win. But at the end there, Matt Psycho just doing those 25s consistently is destroyed that one. Homesick Alien, and there goes Pat, has crossed the line to finish the race. And Homesick Alien still dealing with Guesty. What a lovely rivalry we've had from these two over the last couple of weeks in these Clios. Ensign Hewitt still 1.9 seconds ahead of Koi Carp. So we'll go to Matt Psycho, who's coming down the straight on his final lap. And it's car 16 coming through the chase, heading towards Murray's corner to take the win from race 2. Great drive from Matt Psycho and a superb win. Great stuff. Battled hard for that one. Groot comes home in a perfect second place. Great drive from Groot. Great to see him back in the action. And here comes Homesick Alien to round out the podium. Take a boo, my son. And Guesty gets a very close 4th. Ensign Hewitt keeps it ahead of Koi Carp for 5th. Koi Carp comes home in 6th. Pat finished in 7th. And Jim Bob just finished his cup of tea. He's just popping out to get it finished for 8th. Beautiful stuff. Well done, guys. Well done. Great racing. Great fun. And there is a Matt Psycho in his Hyundai overalls in front of his Clio. It is only a special event, so no one's caring about their sponsorship. I'm sure Hyundai don't mind that Matt Psycho drove a Clio. I'm sure Clio don't care that he drives for Hyundai. Anyway, there he goes, a Matt Psycho, a beautiful win. I can't remember the last time I saw him take a win in the VRC. So it's great to see Matt Psycho's return to form and to the top step. Great stuff. Car 16. A Groot super drive gave Matt Psycho a run for his money until the last lap or so, couple of laps. Couldn't keep that consistency of 25s up. And in the end, that's what got Matt Psycho the win. Homesick Alien, I think, made a mistake at some point, dropped back from them guys, and then him and Guesty finished that race off with a lovely little battle and it was Homesick Alien who got the third in the end. Guesty in fourth, Ensenua in fifth, Koikart sixth, Pat seventh, and Jim in eighth. Matt Psycho got the fastest lap with a 2:24.995. Superb. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. I don't know what it does, but whenever I hear other YouTubers, they seem to get really excited about you doing that, so I just copy them. Monkey see, monkey do. And then Tuesday evening, we are moving on to round 3, I believe. It's got to be round 3. Yeah, round 3 of the Super GT season, and that's at St. Croix. I love St. Croix. Great racing. Thursday evening, we go along with the Renault Megans, and they are heading to Interlagos. Some great racing. Friday is still uncertain, but I am guessing we're going to see the Clios back up and running. I think that's everything now. If you go to our website, www.virtualracersclub.co.uk, you can get all your information, all your tables up to date. You can get into our Discord, our community, and you can buy things. Buy a hoodie. They look dead sexy. It will give you extra speed and extra sex appeal. So, in the chat, Matt Sykes saying, cracking racing. Matt Sykes, I literally jumped in. Yeah, no, you've done a great job, man, with no practice. Pat saying, turns out these cars are quicker carrying a koala than a seal. Has his eyes closed most of the time. I think the car was too quick. Matt Psycho saying, GT7, come on, with a smiley face. I wouldn't touch GT7 with yours and Racer Brown pushing. I'm telling you, that game is fundamentally broken. It's the single player sucks because you start at the back and it's not a race. It's just let's get past everyone before the flag, but not race them, just overtake them because you're faster than them. And the daily races I hear work, but I'm not going to race with a bunch of strangers. That isn't what my bag is, baby. And the lobbies for what we want it for just do not work. So thanks for that. But I'm getting used to it now because I bought Fallout 76. Well, my wife bought me Fallout 76. Broken. Took them at least 6 months to get that thing running properly. Then Cyberpunk, it's taken over a year before that game even works properly. No Man's Sky took them like, that was in 2016 that came out, and it was only like 2 years ago that it actually became good. So No Man's Sky released, not ready. So we're looking in a couple of years, GT7 is going to be hot dog. But at the moment, it's just dog hot. Anyway, don't get me started on a Friday, Matt Psycho is saying, and that was fun though. Just bouncy cars in the corners. It just looks ridiculous. Anyway, I was your broadcaster and your commentator, Russell Sprout. Thank you for joining us here at the Virtual Racers Club. I love you all. Peace and love. Peace and love. Yeah? You get me? Good. And it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. I'll be there for you.